I had to turn this long and skinny tab right side out, and I didn't have a special tool to use for that, so I came up with something else, and I'm going to share that with you. Hi everybody, I'm Ali. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I bring you sewing and craft tutorials, pattern reviews, and tips so that you and I can make beautiful things together. I'm going to share a tip with you that really helped me turn these tabs right side out really quickly. And this tip does not include a safety pin, and it does not include a special tool or anything like that. Now, I'm not saying the special tools are not nice to have or useful to have. Of course they are. But if you don't have one handy, or you just don't have one, period, I'm going to show you a tip that has helped me a lot. And so I figure it could most likely help you as well. So what I did is that I took a long piece of yarn. This, you want it to be longer than the entire piece of your kitchen towel topper, because you want to have enough here in the end, on this end, to pull. And I made it really long because I have several to turn. So I don't want to keep, and I'll be cutting it along the way. So just, this is about what, 12, 14 inches. On one end, you leave it like this. And on the other end, you're going to make a little knot. And nothing too fancy, just a knot. Then you're going to take your two pieces of fabric, right sides together, and you're going to place the yarn on one of the right sides, and you want the knot to come out. You want the knot to be on the outside of the fabric, okay? So right there. And I put the other piece of fabric right sides together, so the yarn is in between the two pieces of fabric. And now I'm going to put a wonder clip on it like this to keep it in place. I'm going to also put wonder clips along the sides to make sure my fabric doesn't move as I'm stitching it. Okay, just like that. I place the markings of a 1/4 inch here with my ruler, so that way I know I stop there and then I continue to stitch, and then another 1/4 inch here. I stop stitching there and then I continue down. So those are my markings. And I did the same here on the top part of my tab. Also mark a 1/4 inch on those two ends. That way I know I'm gonna stop stitching there, and then I pivot my fabric and continue stitching. So when I come like this, I stop there, pivot, stitch, stop there, pivot, stitch, stop there, pivot, stitch, and continue. Consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel if you have learned something today. You gotta trim off some of this excess fabric. That is important, so I just put a little bit in there and clip around these pointy edges, and also here on the dents. Make sure you don't cut the stitch line, but that really helps move the fabric in. This process kind of assists a little bit in the process of turning your fabric right side out. I feel that it helps the fabric give in a little bit more and is less bulky, okay? Perfect. The first thing I do is push the pointy edge here of my tab inside. I'm gonna move that over there, and I open this, and just with my fingers I start pushing it in. It's not gonna go in very far, but you're just going to help the fabric a little bit, okay? That's all you're going to do. So once it's there, kind of in there, okay, you will get it started. You start pushing, you start pulling, I'm sorry. You start pulling here with the yarn. And as you pull, you see the end here starts getting wrinkled. So with your fingers or with the tweezers, you can just pull some of that fabric. Okay. Okay, perfect. And that's it. It doesn't take very long before you can start pulling all of the fabric through. And do it slowly because you don't want your yarn to fray and come loose. So you just want to be careful and make sure the knot's still there and that your yarn is not fraying and coming loose. Or you can just do this and finish, open it up some more. And once you see the pointy end, you can just grab it with your fingers and pull it all out. And look how easy that was. I also push these little corners here and voila. Nice. Now for the corners here at the end of the tab, I open that fabric up a little bit and I just push it with my fingers. There it is. Now, you may be wondering about the yarn here, right? Like, what do I do with this yarn? Am I going to be able to see that yarn when the kitchen towel topper is completed, is finished? And the answer is no. Okay, now it depends on the yarn that you use. I think it's a number 5 yarn. What I do is that very carefully, I almost open the yarn, like the strands, and I cut it really, really close to my tab, being careful not to cut the fabric, of course. So here it is. I don't know if you can see that. There. You can barely see it. But just to make sure that I didn't cut any fabric or that it completely goes away, I use some fray check. And I just put a couple of dots of fray check there. And that completely flattens any of the yarn that may still be there. And that's it. I know this video really helped you. If you want to learn how to make these cute kitchen towel toppers, click here and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.